Now, while this poster is a little plain in its design, there is one glaring thing that wasn't in Journey Back to Oz. The ruby slippers? Hello fellow Ozians, I'm the Louisiana Quadling, a Wizard of Oz collector and enthusiast, sharing with you my thoughts, my collection, and a little bit of my musical talent with all of you. And welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to be looking at some movie posters from one of my favorite Wizard of Oz sequel movies, Journey Back to Oz. Now, this video will only be discussing posters that were released here in the United States. We'll first be looking at the theatrical poster from 1974. And this is the largest poster. This is the US 1 sheet. It measures 27 inches across and 41 inches tall. The artwork on this poster shows most of the predominant characters from the film, all except Woodenhead. All the fun and splendor of the magical land of Oz in a brand new cartoon feature is featured here in the middle top, and on the bottom is listed all of the star-studded cast for this film, with, of course, the title printed in red. Now, out of all of the Journey Back to Oz posters, this one is the easiest one to acquire. And I have never seen one of these posters rolled. All of the ones that I have ever seen offered for sale were folded. This one is a folded example. I'm not even sure if a rolled example exists. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And as another thing to note, this is the only Journey Back to Oz poster that has been reproduced. And just like in my Wizard of Oz reproduction poster video, if you haven't seen that one, link down below, the reproduction is a different size from this poster. And it's literally different by 1 inch. Yeah, that's it. So instead of being 27 by 41, all of the reproductions of this poster are 27 by 40. And that is because in the late 80s, early 90s, the US 1 sheet changed its size by eliminating that 1 inch from the posters. So that's a pretty easy way of knowing whether you are dealing with an original theatrically used poster or a reproduction, simply by seeing if the poster is 41 inches instead of 40 inches. And thankfully, this poster won't cost you too much money, so I wouldn't recommend getting a reproduction of this poster. Although if you want to get one that'll be easier to frame, you can always get a reproduction, but an original shouldn't cost you anything more than $50, so I'd stick with an original. But that's up to you. Now, the next poster that we will be discussing, I do not currently own, but I thought it was pertinent to talk about it, since there are so few posters that have been created and released for Journey Back to Oz. I thought it was important to bring this one up. So this is the US Network poster. This one was released in 1976 when Journey Back to Oz was shown on US television for the first time. And the movie actually had new scenes for this television broadcast that starred Bill Cosby as the Wizard. Now, while this poster is a little plain in its design, there is one glaring thing that wasn't in Journey Back to Oz. The ruby slippers? Now, while we have this glaring continuity error, it's still a pretty striking poster, and I really like that about it. Out of all the Journey Back to Oz posters, this one is the rarest one. and will cost you anywhere around $100 to get this one. And the last poster that we will be looking at, I do own, and that is the US VHS release poster. This one comes from 1983, and it uses the artwork from the vinyl release of Journey Back to Oz that was released just a couple years earlier in 1980. There are a couple more characters that are on this poster than was featured on the original theatrical version, like the signpost and Woodenhead. So, if you are a big Sawhorse fan and want to have more representation of the different versions of the Sawhorse in your collection, this is definitely a poster to pick up. And obviously this is the smallest of the three that we will be talking about. This one measures 18 by 24 inches. And just like the previous poster, this one is also a little bit on the rare side. Most of these posters that I have seen were actually used by VHS stores to promote the release of Journey Back to Oz. So they're either sun damaged, they feature pinholes, they might be torn. All those kinds of condition issues can happen with this poster. So if it pops up, make sure to keep your eye out for that. The colors on this poster are very, very vibrant, so they're definitely not faded or pastel-y. I've seen a lot of posters that look that way. This poster here, I believe, was never displayed in a VHS store. When I picked it up, I think this was new old stock, so that's why this particular example looks this good. And thankfully, this one won't cost you quite as much as the second poster. I think you shouldn't pay anything over $50 for this poster as well, which isn't too bad. And that is all of the posters from Journey Back to Oz that I know of that were released here in the United States. What's really nice about some of these smaller collections is that they can make nice little mini collections inside your collection. And also, isn't it nice to only have to collect 3 things? It is for me. Do you like Journey Back to Oz? Do you like collecting Wizard of Oz movie posters? Comment down below. And if you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. New videos are posted every 2 weeks on the 15th and last day of each month. And if that doesn't satisfy your appetite for Oz, follow the link in the description to ozclub.org and join the International Wizard of Oz Club. Until next time, bye y'all.